Golf Central on YouTube, brought to you by the Chrome Soft Golf Ball from Callaway.
Hi, I'm Whit Watson. This is your Golf Central update. The race to the CME Globe Champion will be crowned at Tiburon Golf Club in Naples, Florida, starting on Thursday. Lilia Vu won here last year but didn't qualify this season, so she'll not be defending. Only 60 players in the field. With more from Naples, let's go to Amy Rogers.
Thanks, Whit. Well, Celine Boutier and Lilia Vu have emerged as the two dominant players this season on the LPGA Tour. And with 4 wins apiece, it comes as no surprise that the race for Player of the Year has also come down to these two major champions. Now, Vu said it was after her 3rd victory of the season and 2nd major title at the AIG Women's Open that she really started to think, this could be a reality, that she could be Player of the Year this season. Now, how she actually stands in that season-long points race, well, she has no idea. She said she's actually gone out of her way to not look at where she is in the standings, even as she heads into the Tour Championship, where she has no idea she's the current frontrunner for Player of the Year.
I mean, I know I got the major award when the Annika won, but I haven't looked at anything else. I don't really know how any of the point system works, to be honest. I just kind of hear what you guys tell me. Yeah, so I'm not aware, but I mean, I have one goal this week, so I'll focus on that.
What is that one goal?
Try and win, be in contention.
Are there any other things floating out there that you might be in contention for that are on your radar that would also be a priority, or something else that you might be thinking about? Or is it just wanting to go out there and win?
I think if I stay to my normal, like trying to win, I think it's just going to solve itself and it'll happen.
Have you thought at all about what it would mean to be Player of the Year?
I haven't really sat down and thought about it. I think because this year has just been so wild for me. I just did not ever imagine this happening, and not at this extent and full force. So no, I haven't thought about what it would mean. I think I would just start crying. I cried during the award ceremony last week because it was Annika handing me the trophy, and at every single level you want to win her tournament, the Annika Junior, and then the Annika Collegiate, and then the Annika Award. And I never won any of those. So to be there and just winning her tournament, I got so emotional.
Boutier trails Vu by just 27 points heading into the CME Group Tour Championship. And with 30 points up for grabs to the winner of this week's event, she could pass Vu, of course, depending on how she plays as well in those point standings. Now, Boutier says it was certainly not her goal when she started this season to come out and be named Player of the Year. In fact, she said her goal was simply to go out and just win once, which, of course, she did that and then some, going on to win 4 times this season. So now, as her career best season on the LPGA Tour winds to an end, she now finds herself in the hunt for one of the season's top honors.
I wouldn't say necessarily it was a goal at the beginning of the season. I definitely found myself in the position to have a chance to win it at the end, so it definitely has been more on my mind. But I mean, Lilia's had such an incredible season, and I mean, it's hard to beat 2 majors. So even if I don't get it, I completely understand she also deserves it as well. So I'm just going to try to focus on finishing the season strong this week and see what happens.
With you being in the hunt for Player of the Year, there's been debate throughout the years whether it should continue to be points-based or to be a vote like it is on the PGA Tour. What are your thoughts on the Player of the Year race and how it should be structured?
I do believe in the point system because I think sometimes you just can't fight against points. I feel like there's a system and you have to perform to be able to win, and I feel like I don't know. I just am very much about stats and points and things like that and rankings. So I'm very much about that.
Now, should Boutier be named Player of the Year this season, she would become the first woman from France to win the title on the LPGA Tour. And if Vu were to come away victorious, she would be the first American to be named Player of the Year since Stacey Lewis back in 2014. Whit?
Amy, thank you. Taking a look statistically at the 2 best players on the LPGA Tour this season, both Vu and Boutier have 4 wins, 2 majors for Vu, 1 for Boutier. Boutier has 2 more top 10s. Vu has a slightly better strokes gain number and scoring average. For Boutier to win Player of the Year, she would need to win the CME Group Tour Championship and have Vu finish no better than 9th. The culmination of the DP World Tour season this week at the Earth Course at Jumeirah Golf Estates in Dubai. The top 50 players on the race to Dubai standings will be on hand. Jon Rahm won this event last season. He's currently second in the race to Dubai standings, but he's number 2 without a bullet because he can't catch number 1. Rory McIlroy has an insurmountable lead in the standings. He will win the Harry Vardon Trophy for the 2nd consecutive year and the 5th time in his career. McIlroy meeting with the media earlier in the day and, as always, was asked about the state of the game.
Just one other question, just about where we're at with the game at the moment, the investment that is coming in, and we're hearing reports from all sorts of different directions. How would you kind of sum up where we are at the moment? I know there have been meetings going on and so forth.
So I think the professional game has never been stronger or healthier from a financial standpoint. You know, there's never been a better time to be a professional golfer. But that's 5% of what golf is. Golf is the golf that you play. It's the golf that my dad plays. It's the, you know, it's not just about us. It's about the overall health of the game. And you know, we're all talking about this investment coming into the, you know, to the top level of golf. But I think that investment also needs to go into the R&A and the USGA, and for them to try to increase participation. And so, yes, all this stuff's going on, but you know, I hope some of that money that is going to be invested is invested back into the game of golf in terms of grassroots programs and again trying to drive the game forward for the next generation.
And do you expect clarity? Because at the moment the waters are seriously muddied, aren't they?
I wouldn't think so. I think if you were in the middle of it, you would see that there's a path forward. It's just that no one on the outside has any details, right? You know, loose lips sink ships. So, you know, we're trying to keep it tight within the walls, and you know, I'm sure when there's news to tell, it will be told.
You've spoken a few times this year about the kind of personal toll of kind of political involvement and the energy that's required. How important is it for you that the kind of the wider political situation around the framework agreement gets wrapped up and doesn't drag deep into 2024? Because I think most of the chatter would suggest that this December 31st deadline is looking ambitious at this point.
Yeah, I would say that's right. I think getting something done sooner rather than later, I think, is a good thing, because not, you know, even if we get a deal done, it doesn't mean that it's actually going to happen. That's up to the United States government at that point, and whether the Department of Justice think that it's the right thing to do, or whether it's anti-competitive or whatever. So even if a deal does get done, it's not a sure thing. So yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see. But in my opinion, the faster something gets done, the better.